Have you ever just stopped and wondered what really separates the people who achieve incredible things from everyone else? It's not just one magic bullet, you know? It's actually a set of principles that have stood the test of time. In this explainer, we're going to break down the wisdom from some of history's greatest thinkers to uncover those very secrets. So what is it really? Is it just blind luck, being born with some raw, incredible talent, knowing the right people? Or is it something a bit deeper? Something that maybe, just maybe, we can all learn and build for ourselves? That's the big question we're going to dive into. And here's our game plan. We're going to tackle this in 4 key parts. First, we'll look at the internal foundation, where it all begins. Then we'll talk about how you turn those thoughts into real action. After that, we'll get into how to handle the ups and downs of the road. And finally, we'll uncover the deep down driving force that fuels the entire journey. All right, let's jump right into the first pillar, which is honestly the most important one, the internal foundation. Because think about it. Before anything amazing can happen out in the world, it has to be built up right here inside your mind. This quote is an absolute classic for a reason. Henry Ford, a guy who literally reshaped the modern world, he got it. He knew that your belief is the ignition switch. Your mindset doesn't just nudge the outcome, it actually sets the absolute boundary for what's even possible for you. But, belief isn't just about thinking you're going to win all the time. It's also about how you look at failure. And Nelson Mandela framed this perfectly. True strength isn't about never falling. It's about how good you are at getting back up. Success isn't some perfect, unbroken winning streak. It's about becoming tough enough to learn something from every single loss. I mean, just think about Michael Jordan, maybe the greatest basketball player of all time, getting cut from his high school team. For most people, that would have been the end of the story. But not for him. He took that rejection and turned it into the fuel for his entire legendary career. Now that is resilience in action. Okay, so you've got the mindset right. That's awesome. But how do you actually turn that inner belief into tangible, real-world results? Well, that brings us right to our second pillar, turning what you believe into what you do, all through the power of habits. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes, because it just cuts through all the noise. It tells us that successful people weren't just born that way. Nope, they are built, piece by piece, day by day, through the small, consistent things they do over and over. Excellence isn't a gift, it's a result. And here's the secret sauce. You don't need these huge, life-altering changes overnight. James Clear, in his incredible book, Atomic Habits, really nails this idea. He talks about the power of getting just 1% better each day. It sounds like nothing, right? But over time, that tiny 1%, it compounds into absolutely staggering results. And the process itself is pretty straightforward. You just start with something so small it's almost silly not to do it, like reading for just 15 minutes or writing 100 words. The real key is repeating it, day in, day out, no excuses. That's how simple consistency builds into this massive exponential growth. Now, a huge part of building good habits is also about avoiding the bad ones. And Steve Jobs understood this better than anyone. Success isn't just about having the discipline to do the right things, it's about having the even tougher discipline to say no to the 1,000,001 distractions that try to pull you off course. Okay, so you've got the mindset and you're building the habits, but let's be real, success is almost never a quick sprint. It's a marathon. And that brings us to our third pillar, embracing that long and often really difficult journey. So how do you keep going when it feels like everything is going wrong? Simple. You learn to reframe what failure even means. Thomas Edison didn't see 10,000 failed attempts to invent the light bulb. No way. He saw 10,000 lessons in what not to do. Every failure was just a step that brought him closer to the right answer. That little shift in perspective, it changes everything. And this idea is absolutely timeless. 12. That's how many publishers rejected J.K. Rowling before Harry Potter finally got a yes. Just imagine for a second if she had stopped at number 11. It goes to show you that perseverance isn't about avoiding failure. It's just about getting up one more time than you get knocked down. This journey also requires a dose of courage. Mark Zuckerberg said the biggest risk is taking no risk at all. And it's so true. Playing it safe feels comfortable, sure, but real growth, that only ever happens when you step outside your comfort zone. Think about Jeff Bezos. He left a stable, high-paying job to sell books out of his garage. It looked insane at the time, but staying put, that would have been the real failure. And finally, on this long journey, your single greatest asset is your ability to just keep learning. The world is always changing. People like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are famous for how much they read. They get it. They know that the moment you stop learning is the moment you start falling behind. So all of this leads us to our final and maybe the deepest pillar. You can have the right mindset, the best habits, and all the persistence in the world. But what keeps you going when things get really, really tough? It's your why. This quote just gets right to the heart of it all. Achieving stuff just for the sake of it, it's empty. You can have all the money and fame in the world, but it can feel totally hollow if it's not connected to a deeper sense of fulfillment. Without that, it's not real success. And what's really important to remember is that purpose looks different for everybody. It can be intensely personal, like Mother Teresa dedicating your life to serving the poor. Or it can be mind-bogglingly ambitious, like Elon Musk trying to get us to Mars. The scale doesn't matter. What matters is that you're connecting your work to something bigger than just you. That's the ultimate rocket fuel. So there you have it. We've covered the 4 big pillars of success. And now the focus shifts away from these ideas and onto you. Because your journey, it starts right now. Let's just bring it all home with a quick recap. Believe in yourself. Build strong habits. Stay focused. Persevere when you fail. Never ever stop learning. Take smart risks. Be resilient. And anchor everything you do in a powerful purpose. If you only remember one single thing from all of this, let it be this. Success isn't some prize that's reserved for a handful of lucky people. It is a path that's open to anyone. It is a choice available to every single person who is willing to walk it. So, I'll just leave you with this one final thought. Knowing all this stuff is great, but doing something with it, well, that's everything. Based on what we've talked about, what is the one small, simple change you're going to make today to start your journey?